Hello, in the last videos we discussed about combinatorics. Let's discuss the next problem. Arul has binary array of length n. He will take all subsequences of length k is odd, of this array and find their median. What is sum of all these values? As the sum can be very large, output it modulo 1 and n plus 7. In other words, print the remainder of the sum and divide by 1 n plus 7. N and k are up to 2 into 10 power 5 and k is odd. And the array consists of only integers 0 and 1 as it is given that it is a binary array. So firstly, what is a median? So when given some values, if we want to find the median, sort the values, and if the length is odd, the middle value is median, and if length is even, it will be mentioned in question whether it is the left value or right value or average of middle values. Because if the length is even, we will get two middle values, and it will be specified which is the median according to the question. So now in this question, we have to find sum of medians of all subsequences of length k. So what are the possible values? It can be 0 or only 1 because it is odd length, and obviously there are only 0 and 1, so the values are only 0 and 1, which are only possibilities. So let's assume that the median of some subsequence is 0. We want sum of all medians. So even if the median is 0, it is useless because even if we had something with 0, the value is same. So we did not need to consider the subsequences with median 0 because anyways it is useless. So finally answer will be the number of subsequences of length k with median 1 because the subsequences with median 0 are useless. And let's assume that there are two zeros and one in the given subsequence in the given array, in the given string, in the given array. So are any subsequences with these both the same? For example, there is a big string and we found subsequences 0 1 0 0 0 1 and 1 0 0 with two zeros and 1 1. So are all these same or different? These all are same because to find median anyways we have to sort the given array and we have to find the middle one. So irrespective of the subsequence, the median of all these three is 0 because to find median we have to anyway sort this and we have to find the middle value. As zeros are more than 1, the middle value will always be 0 after sorting. So median of all is 0. So order is not important, only count of 0 and 1 is important to find median. Let's assume that k is equal to 3 and the length is 3. If it is 5, we have 5 numbers, and if it is 7, we have 7. So our main goal is to find only subsequences with median 1. So what is the condition for subsequence to get the median 1? So the middle value should be 1 always because the middle value is the median, so it should be 1 to get the median 1. So it should be 1 here as well, and it should be 1 here as well. So we can get median only if we sort. So we have sorted the array and the middle one is 1. So obviously the next one all should be 1 because it is sorted. So all values right to it are also 1. Even in this all are 1. So it is 1 and it is 1. And here also all these three are 1. So what are the minimum number of 1s that is possible in the final array, final subsequence of length k? It is k by 2 plus 1 because middle value should be 1 and all these values should be 1 because of the condition that it is sorted. So for minimum ones, let's assume that there are no ones before and all these are zeros. So it is 1 and this is k by 2 because it is odd. Let's assume that k is 7 and middle is 1. So it will be k by 2 and it will be k by 2. So these all k by 2 plus 1. So minimum ones is k by 2 plus 1. And what is count of maximum ones? So what if k is equal to 5 and 1 is equal to 7? So we only want subsequence of length 5 and initially in the given array 1s are 7. So obviously we can fill only up to all. So maximum ones is possible only when we try to fill the whole subsequence with 1. So in this case the value is 5. So if k is equal to 5 and 1 is equal to 7, k is 5. And if k is equal to 5 and 1 is equal to 2, there are only 2 ones to fill in this 5. So we must fill these other positions with 0. So in this way the value will be 2 because it is minimum. Because if we have many ones we can fill in all these k positions, and if 1 is less than k we have to fill zeros in the other places. So what are the maximum ones? It is minimum of 1s on k. So now let's fix number of ones in the final subsequence and let's try to count the number of subsequences with those number of ones. We found the minimum ones and we found maximum ones. Let's assume we are at some middle point and there are some I ones in the final subsequence. So if we have I ones, final subsequence length is k. So if we have I ones, the values of zeros are k minus 1, k minus I. So initially we found that ones is the number of ones in the given array and the total length is n, so zeros will be n minus 1s. So how to find the number of subsequences with I1 from 1's number of ones and k minus I zeros from n minus 1's number of zeros. So let's say we have some array of 5 numbers and we have to choose 3 numbers from this. So what are the possible cases? Firstly, we can pick any of these 5 numbers. So let's assume that we are picking this, and what are the possible cases for this? 5, because initially all are unselected. We have to select anyone in the first place. So it is 5 initially, and we have chosen this place in the first position. So what are the next possibilities to select one? It is this, or this, and this. So it is 4. And after that, other place is also filled. Let's assume that this is taken, and finally there are 3 choices to take. So it is 3. So the value will be 5 into 4 into 3. So we can multiply 2 factorial above and 2 factorial below. So if you multiply, you can get it as n factorial, because n factorial is n into n minus 1 and so on. And 2 into 1 is n minus r factorial, because r is equal to 3 and n is equal to 5. So 2 is n minus r, so it is 2 n minus r factorial. But in this question, we discussed that the any subsequence with some zeros and ones is same. The order is not important. So even 1, 2, 3, if we are picking 0, if we have 0, 1, 0 here, it is same if we pick 0, 0, 1 or 1, 0, 0 or any way. So all these 6 are same. So 1, 2, 3, 1, 3, 2 indices, these are indices, and any way of picking these indices are same. So how many are these? We are initially selecting r values. So there are r factorial ways. So we got this number of values, and as all are the same, we are again dividing by r factorial. So the value will be NCR. So this is NCR, and this is the number of ways to select R from N, such that the order is not important, but the count is important. But the ways are important. So we found that this is NCR, and we want the exact same condition here, because we want some ones from given number of ones, and we want some zeros from given number of zeros. So NCR into 1's comma I, because there are ones, and we are assuming that the final subsequence have I ones, and similarly for zeros. So this is the minimum value of I, and this is the maximum value, and we are looping to the answer, looping to the all values of final count of ones in the final subsequence, and we are adding NCR of that into NCR of this, and we are doing mod to avoid overflow. So let's check the code. If you did not understand this, I explained the before video, so try to refer those. We are just finding a power b in O of log b, and we are finding the inverse, and we are doing factorial, and we are pre-computing in the factorial inverse factorial array, and NCR is just factorial of n into, because it is n factorial by n factorial divided by multiplication of this both. So factorial of n into inverse factorial of this into inverse factorial of this, because inverse factorial is just exactly like 1 by x. So initially we are pre-computing both, and we are inputting the test cases. We are counting number of ones in the given array, and the limit, the maximum number of ones is minimum of ones and k, and it is k by 2 plus 1. So we are finally incrementing answer with getting ones from I and n minus ones from k minus n, and we are finally printing the answer. If you have any doubts, comment below. See you in the next video.